Hey everybody, welcome back. First things first, it is snowing in Ireland. Anyway, today I'm going to do another Marketwatch video. This time I'm going to go focus on 3 main decks that will be coming out in BT7 / in the structure decks, and we're going to take a look at what you need to pick up for them. Potential cards, I mean there might be other things that I leave out. Let me know if I do, by the way. So I'm going to cover the Seraphimon Jogress deck. So when the structure deck comes out at the end of April, you should have all your cards by then that you need for that deck. I'm also going to be covering the yellow hybrid and the blue hybrid decks. Let's take a look at them and see what cards we need to pick up for them and what they cost at the moment. Make sure to go to topdecktcg.com and use code BULB810 for 10% off your next purchase. Right, we are on Card Trader for this just because European market is currently Card Trader and Facebook, which is totally fine. But a lot of people do go off Card Trader prices even on Facebook at the moment. I also realized something recently is you can actually buy some stuff on Card Trader that isn't tracked shipping, but the sellers have to have at least 10 things sold via tracked shipping before they're allowed to sell by not tracked. So some sellers actually do have the option to sell via non-tracked. So just keep an eye out for that when you are buying it. There's like a little drop down menu to see what type of shipping you want. Oh, they're so soft. Purple Mastimon. Let's get into that. The main egg you'll be using in the Mastimon deck, from what I've seen, I've gone through a lot of different deck profiles on Digimon card meta, and the main egg that seems to be popping up the whole time is Demi-Merimon. Now these used to be at €3, which it's nice that they've dropped in price, so now they're accessible to everybody. They're only about 19 cents. But yeah, this is the egg you'll be wanting to pick up for purple. All of the rookies that I've seen being played in the Mastimon Jogress deck that are not from BT7 or from the specific structure deck itself. So the 6 kind of rookies that you'll be looking at getting are picking up before the structure decks come out, and the ones that don't come in BT7 or in the structure deck, so they'd be kind of BT6 previous, would be your Labramon, your Gazimon, Tapermon, your Purple Elecmon, and then the 2 different Gabumons, your BT2 and your structure deck Gabumons. It is good to keep an eye on them. If you have them lying around, just make sure you put them aside for the Jogress deck, or if you don't have them, now is the time to pick them up. They are all between 2 and 10 cents. Like you'll be able to get them very, very cheap. They're commons. For the level 4s, the only ones you're really looking at are Ginkakumon, Kinkakumon, and Ginkakumon Promote. Possibly if you do want to play those in the deck, and they're all about, as you can see here, 2 cents for those. So pick up those 3 if you want. Like I said, 2 cent cards, you should be able to trade for them easy enough. You'll be getting other stuff from BT7 for them, like your Eismon, your Witchmon, and your Gatomon. Like I said, this is BT6 previous cards that you should need to pick up. Now for the level 5s, Lady Devimon is one of the first ones you need to pick up. She seems to be played in the majority of the decks, and she's currently at about a $5. But also, if your locals has prize support, it's the new entry packs, I think it's volume 4 that just came out, have an alt art Lady Devimon. I'll put a picture here. And they don't seem to be on Card Trader currently. I can't find them. You might be lucky enough to pull one there as well, which would be really nice. I don't know what they're going to be pricing at, but currently this Lady Devimon is at a $5. The other unfortunate card that people are playing in the Jogress deck, which does make it a little bit expensive, is the Magna Angemon. He's looking at about €25 at the moment, but if a lot of people are going to be playing him in the future decks, he's probably not going to go below €25. So you can either pick them up now or wait until the deck comes out, or maybe see if you can trade for them. That's what I've been doing. I've been trading what I'm not using to get these expensive cards rather than just paying the price outright. It feels a little better to trade than it does to pay a lot of money, in my opinion. You're looking at about €25. Now you don't have to play him in these decks, but it is just to keep in mind that people are playing him, and if you want your deck at full power, you might have to play them. We don't know exactly what the meta is going to be in the English format yet. He's not a bad shout to pick up. Then on to our level 6s, we are looking at Mastimon. So it is Jogress deck and it is purple deck, and you can digivolve on both yellow and purple, so people will be playing Mastimon. You can get your alt arts for about €15 and they are beautiful, so I would recommend picking up the alt arts now while they're at a decent price, or you can actually just get the regular art for €3, €4. It does the same job if you're just looking to play, but if you want to max rarity your deck, you know, the alt art Mastimons are quite cheap right now. Then onto the level 7s. I've seen a lot of decks playing Zwart. Now, you have your pick of Zwarts. It's There's quite a lot of Zwarts out there. You can get any of the alt arts for about 15 euros, or you can get the regular one for about 7.50. So they are quite cheap, which is nice. You don't need to pick up a playset. I'd only pick up like 1 or 2, because I think people play maximum 2 is all I've seen of these Zwarts. So if you want to pick up a Zwart, I would get them now. Again, for playability, just pick up the regular one for 7.50, but if you do want to max out your deck, maybe pick up the alt arts for 15. Another card people are playing in the BT7 format is going to be Omnimon's Word Defeat. I think the majority of decks are going to, or the majority of black and purple decks probably going to be playing Word Defeat to try and get rid of the Tamers on board, because it is a very Tamer heavy format. Unfortunately, we already know Word Defeats are very expensive. They are about 45 euros on the regular. They haven't gone down in a while. And the alt art is just sitting at around 60 euros at the moment as well. I guess depending on your budget, try to trade for them if you can. But if you can't, there's not much I can tell you. Word Defeat is a very good card, and the price reflects how good it is. Something I've seen a lot of purple decks start to play is the purple memory boost as well, because you do want to try and get the cards you want in your hand. So your purple memory boost is a very good card, and it's at about 60 cents right now, so there's no harm in picking up a playset of them. I have a playset of every single one of the memory boosts, because I think they are just a good staple card to have. Now, looking at our Tamers, there's a few different Tamers you can play. You can play this boy here if you want. He's 5 cents. He's okay. Most people are playing this Matashita, but you can get him. Here we go. So yeah, he's resting at about €1. His alt art here is 10.50, but alt arts are always going to be a good bit more expensive than the regular art anyway. No harm in picking up your mats now. They're quite cheap. They're €1. And then 2 more cards I would look at picking up is the TK and Kari and the Analog Youth. Your TK and Kari are 2 cent cards. You pick them up very easily. The Analog Youth he's about €1 right now as well, and I think most decks are going to be playing him, so you should be picking up a playset of your Analog Youth regardless of what deck you're playing. Not the alt art. The alt art is way too expensive, but the regular art, go for it. Now we're moving on to the yellow hybrid deck. What's a yellow deck without your Upamon? I mean, it's a great card for drawing, and it's at 20 cents right now, so I would pick up these if you don't already have them. The only other kind of egg people are playing in the yellow hybrid deck is actually a purple egg, the Xiaomon, and it's 2 cents. Again, pick them up. They're very cheap if you don't already have them. For the rookies, the only rookies I see being played in yellow, because it's not a very rookie heavy deck, you're playing a lot more Tamers than you are playing rookies. So literally the only 2 rookies I've seen across the board in the yellow hybrid deck have been the Salamon and the Gazimon. And the Gazimon for an obvious reason of shutting down memory boosts and gaining memories off effects that aren't from Tamers, and Salamon is just a good card because of the recovery effect. The level 4s are mainly going to be from your BT7 box, and they are all going to be the like Seraphimon, Kazimon, those type of cards. So there's really nothing level 4 wise you need to pick up. For our level 5s for the hybrid deck, there's 2 that are useful to pick up. There's this Rise Greymon, the BT4 Rise Greymon. He's about €8 right now, but he is a good card because of his Digiburst effect. You get to Digiburst to play a yellow or a red Tamer, so he's a very good card. The other card I would suggest is this Rise Greymon. So ironically, the 2 Rise Greymons. When Digivolving, you get to play a Tamer for free. The Inherit effect is also very good. On to the level 6s. The only real level 6 I've seen being played from BT6 and backwards is the Dynasmon. Now it's 50 cents for a Dynasmon. Pick up your playset now. They're super cheap. There's no reason not to. If you want the alt art, which looks amazing by the way, it's only €7. So I would pick up, if you're looking to max rare your deck, pick up the alt art now. He's nice and cheap. Like I said in my last Marketwatch video. And this is a card I haven't seen being used in a long time. So the Seraphimon. And he's kind of resting at about a €5 right now as well. So he's kind of actually between 5 and €10 right now. And I have seen a few people playing him. So if you think you're going to play him in your deck, I would pick him up now as well. Then onto the option cards. I guess there's only 2 real option cards you would be playing in that. And that would be like your reinforcing memory boost, which you're only allowed to play 1 of anyway. So just pick up 1. It's a 2 cent card, it's fine. The other one would be your tactical retreat, which is another 2 cent card that I have seen being played. So just pick them up if you don't have them already. Tamers, this is where it gets fun. So there are a lot of Tamers being played in this deck, as we know. Starting with our TK, he's at about a €5 right now. I would pick him up if you don't have him. He's a very good staple card. He's your memory fixer card, and his effect is very good. And then the other Tamer card, you'd have your TK and Carry, which is a 2-cent card. Purple Carry, which is also a 2-cent card, and your Takumi Aiba, which also is a very cheap Tamer card. I think the TK is the only expensive-ish one that you should be looking actively to pick up. The rest you'll get cheap enough. The last deck we're going to cover is the blue hybrid deck. This one was quite surprising for me in that the blue Ufamon egg is actually at about €4. I haven't seen an egg up at that price for a while now, since Demi-Meramon used to be up at €3 to €4. But yeah, Ufamon be kind of spicy right now. So Buddy is the main egg played in the blue hybrid deck. Then for rookies, majority of our rookies are 2-cent, and the ones you kind of would be looking at are your Strabimons, your Madoki Betamon, and your Gabumons. They're kind of the list of rookies you need. They're all super cheap. They're about 2-cent unless you're getting alt arts of the Gabumon. But if it's just for playability, pick up the 2-cent cards to build your deck. Our level 4s, we're looking at our Lobomons. So your regular Lobomon, your Tamer Lobomon is 2-cent for the regular or €20 for the alt art. The alt art looks beautiful though, I will say that much. And the promo Lobomon, which some people are playing in the deck, is between €2 and €4 depending on which one you get. So they're not actually too bad, especially if you're just going for the commons, just for playability. Very cheap. The main level 5 is from BT7, your Beowulfmon. The level 6 I've seen some people playing. If you are planning on playing the Ancient Garurumon version of this deck, you're looking at about €30 for your Ancient Garurumons. The alt arts are really pretty, and they're not actually that much more expensive than the regular arts, so choose as you will. So that deck can be kind of like, it can be a little bit expensive just because of the Ancient Garurumons themselves. But other than the Ancient Garurumons, everything else seems to be super accessible and super cheap to get. One of the level 7s that's being played is Gabumon still. Of course, in BT7, he'll never die. The card is beautiful though, it's really cool. And you can get the regular art Gabumons for less than €2. So pick up your playset now, they are cheap. And the alt art is really cool, and it's actually only about €20, which isn't bad for a really nice alt art, and the texture on that alt art is A1. For your option cards, you're just looking at Ice Wall, which you're only allowed to play one of anyway, and it's a very cheap card, so pick up your one Ice Wall. Your Howling Memory Boost, which is a 2-cent card. So on to Tamers, because it is a hybrid deck that is mainly focusing on Tamers anyway. Out of all the Tamers, the main one you're looking at forking out for is your Davis. They're about €8.59 for a Davis, and people are still using him because he is still a good card. He's still a memory fixer. A lot of people are still playing the Matt Ishida, the blue one, and he's really cheap because you are still playing Gabumon, so you can still gain memory that way too. But they're also playing the other Matt Ishida. So this is the other Matt Ishida that's being played, and he's a 2-cent card. So I'd pick, he's cheap enough. Pick him up if you can. Sora and Joe is another one I'm seeing a lot of play of. Again, 2-cent card, totally fine. And then your analog youth, like I said in the purple deck. A lot of decks are going to be playing analog youth anyway, so they're about €1 to €2. I'd pick them up. And that is it for the 3 decks. I hope this was helpful. If it is helpful, let me know, and I will do more decks. I will cover more decks to see what you need to pick up and what the prices of them right now. And yeah, let me know what decks you're building, if you've managed to get all your cards for it. I think I've managed to get all my cards for my decks right now. I do like to keep an eye on future decks just to see what I need to pick up here and there every now and then, just because things tend to go up in price as soon as they are seeing major play and as soon as they are meta. Or you can kind of keep an eye out on what stuff is going to be played from the Japanese format anyway. Now I know always the English format and the Japanese format tend to actually be quite different for a majority of reasons. Good luck in getting all of your cards, and I'll see you next time.